Okay, I think that will do. All right. Hello everyone, welcome back to Wolf Woodworking in Laser Engraving. And today we're going to be working on this lovely thing here. Let me actually kind of tilt this down so you guys can see. Now this is actually a project that I was given by my sister, who actually wanted me to kind of repaint it. Now I'm an overachiever, and so I'm not just going to repaint it. I'm actually going to completely strip this and then stain it, and then polyurethane it, or probably just stain it. I'm not sure, honestly. So, but let me actually get a close-up view of what I'm actually dealing with. So I actually got two cameras here. I got the GoPro Max, which is a two-sided camera, and I also got the GoPro Hero 8. Honestly, it's the GoPro Hero 8. It's not very good. It actually overheats way too often. That's why you don't see me doing a lot of airsoft stuff anymore on my other channel, Command Wolf Gaming, because just really haven't found anything that wouldn't overheat in, you know, the mid-August sun. Luckily today is actually a very nice day, but let me diverge from that. So what we're actually dealing with is some wallpaper, some unorthodox screws, and also the board on the back here is actually broken, this top portion. So not sure what I'm going to do with that, but as you can see here, looks like it's all pretty much wood, so it should be an easy disassembly. I don't see any other nails or anything going on along here, so I'm assuming that this whole back is just one tap, just screwed in. All I have to do is screw this and it comes off, and then I just got to figure out how to get these. I do have a screw gun, but it looks like some of these screws are glued over or painted over, so I might have to do a bit of cleanup. So let's actually just try this over here real quick. I might actually have to get the other camera so we get a better view. All right, that came right out. So let me actually grab the other camera so I can do this a little bit of hands-free. And we're back. All right, so picking up where I left off, I'm pretty much going to unscrew this from here. It seems these screws are going to come out very nicely. Okay, so all the screws are out. All right, so that is not coming off, at least not right now. So I'm assuming that we actually got to take the screws out from the side here now. That is if we can get at the screw. This looks like it's a nail, but it looks like to be something there too. Thumbtack. Interesting. All right, so the issue is, as you can see, just try to do that screw. Looks like I'm gonna have to clean all these out before I try to remove them with my screw gun. So that means I'm gonna have to get a pick, and luckily I got a kit of picks, but let me go grab them real quick. Okay, so we cleaned out all the screws. Hopefully they're all cleaned out enough. So I'm just going to periodically just go and remove them. And hopefully I don't run into an issue. Got all of the screws out finally. So they should just be able to fall apart now, because there's nothing supporting it. We're gonna hit it with a hammer. So let's see here. Oh, we got nails. And that's fine. We'll figure that out. I was hoping it would just held together with screws, but the screws might have been decorative, and they just had it really held together with the nails. So could be wrong, could be right. I have no idea. I wasn't the original designer, but to use nails than to use screws seems like not a great idea. The reason why I want to even use nails on the bookshelf other than for the backing is because nails aren't really for support on the horizontal scale, as in like you're loading them. They're made to put things together, and screws, actually, I'm probably lying either way. Well, it looks like the nails that they put in here are not the right size for this. Sorry for those who actually really know about this stuff. If you guys really know, let me know. All right, guys, so finally got all the nails out, which wasn't too bad actually. So this is what I have left over. I have a handful of nails, some screws, some tacks that I'm gonna actually get rid of. I'm actually gonna keep the screws. Not sure what I'm gonna do with them. Maybe polish up the head, but I don't think I'm gonna have another screw like this to actually replace them, or even like this as of right now. And I don't actually know of a process with that where I can clean them up other than sanding the ever-living daylights out of them. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I am actually going to switch back over to the other camera after I get set up with my sanding equipment, which I do have a couple of different sanders. I got an orbital and a belt sander, and as well as grab some clamps as well. I've kind of forgot about that. So because I really gotta, you know, sand this down, and as you can see, this is all cracked all the way up. Same thing here, and that's not even the worst of it. You saw before, and I showed you guys before, that these are actually covered in wallpaper as well. So I gotta really get this off. And that means not only getting the wallpaper off, the paint off, but it's also whatever varnish and stain that they actually used on there. And that stuff's going to be definitely hard to get off, because now it's been sitting on there and it has a painted surface and also a sticky paper surface on top of that. So that is going to be one hell of a time to deal with. But luckily I'm outside today. It's actually nice and sunny out. It's actually kind of windy, so it's kind of more of a autumn weather feel, even though we're still kind of in midsummer. We're approaching, you know, fall, so which is just right around the corner. So this is the best time to get it done. And plus school is like within a week, so I really wish I should have gotten this done earlier and just kind of gotten it out of the way, but it is what it is. So let me get my equipment set up, get rid of the nails and this tacks, and then we can move from there. And hopefully my cameras actually stay good, because the GoPros tend to overheat. So all right, be right back. All right, so we got everything set up now. As you can see here, I got everything clamped down. I actually have both my belt sanders over, well, my belt sander and my circular sander. Now, there is one thing I do want to say. When you are sanding or you're dealing with chemicals or anything, it's all about ventilation. Luckily for me, since it's such a nice day today, I don't have to wear a mask. So I'm not going to wear a mask, but I am going to wear some safety glasses as well as some hearing protection, because I am going to be close to the sander while I'm doing this. And the reason why I am going to wear my safety glasses and hearing protection is because even though I am out in the open and obviously the sound is going everywhere, right, you still are close to the tool. And even if I'm in a closed space or, you know, out in the open, I do want to protect my hearing, and I also want to protect my eye. Because I don't know what's going to come up from this other than this sawdust or sanding that's going to be kind of blown away by the wind anyway. So I don't know if there's going to be chips, stray metal, any of that. I want to make sure, I want to be safe as safe can be. Now, you can't go through the extra step in wearing a mask and everything. It's all depending on the stuff that you are using in the enclosed spaces. If you actually do watch my channel, which I am going to be putting up some more stuff in regards to woodworking, especially on my lathe, I do wear a mask and a full face shield to give myself some protection so I don't get hurt, and I'm also not exposed to the sawdust in my shop, because there is not a lot of space in there. The only thing that's really in there is a small ventilation system, and really that doesn't do well. And also there's a giant hawk flying overhead. See if we can get it. All right guys, so I just started sanding, and I don't know what paint is on this thing, but this is actually kind of weird. It's almost like clay, and it's really sticking to the sandpaper. It's not coming off. So I don't know if this is like a lead paint situation, or if this is like something else, or maybe it's I don't know, somebody used clay to paint this shelf, because this stuff is really tough in coming off. So I'm probably going to be here for quite a bit of time. I don't want to use anything like a planer or anything, because I'm not trying to remove the whole entire surface, just the paint, the old lacquer, and the paper. So has anybody actually encountered something like this before, like this weird clay-like paint? Because I'm curious to know what it is. So let me know down in the comment section if you guys know. All right, so I got done with one half board. So I realized with my belt sander I actually had 120 grit and not 60 grit on there, and for whatever reason in certain spots it was getting kind of like mushy, like almost clay like. And I don't know if it was the paint that was used, or if it was just because it was an amalgamation of old stain and polyurethane being covered up by paint, because I know with polyurethane it kind of gets gummy, right? Especially if it kind of like sits for a bit, and then it kind of gets like a little gummy, especially when you're trying to, you know, scrape it up or like clean it up. So but I'm doing the rough sanding right now, because I don't want to get too much into this, because I don't know how much more sunlight I'm gonna have, and how much battery life I'm gonna have, because I gotta do obviously the sideboards and all the rest of the shelf as well. And so what I did resort to is actually using my Orbital sander, which actually had a 36 grit, which is actually very coarse grit to use. And I mostly just try to use that for like cleanup of rough surfaces like this. So but yeah, I didn't realize how long it would actually take. I thought it was gonna come off, you know, just old paint is old paint, but with it being stained polyurethane and then paint on top of that, who knows how many layers of paint as well. I don't know how long this will take, and this might actually be a multi-day process. So I'm probably going to be cutting out a huge chunk of time between now and when I get to the next part, which is actually pretty much refinishing the end, and at that point you know, the whole entire sanding process will be done. Now I could, if I thought about this earlier, I could have ran and got some paint thinner, not paint thinner, paint remover, right? And use that. The only thing I got is like thinner, but I'm not sure if that will work. I can certainly try it, at least on this side, to see if it'll help remove the surface, but I highly doubt. It's not really a remover, it's just a thinner. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I guess I'll be back in a day or two. Depends on how long each board takes, honestly, because this probably take about 30 minutes to one side, and then I still got to go along the edge. I don't even know how I'm going to do that, but I'm probably going to just put them all together and just try to sand it as best I can. But all right, so I'll see you guys, I don't know, in a couple days or something like that. I honestly wish I had like a huge workshop where I had like a sandblaster to use, because that would actually be phenomenal right now. I can't afford something like that. I actually tried to purchase a sandblaster at one time, and I don't have a compressor that would actually keep up with it, so it was just kind of a moot point for me to use it. So all right, let me stop yapping, let me start continuing it. So I'll be right back after this long delay. Oh, also, before I forget, always stay hydrated. If you're looking for a good thermos or a thermos, a cup, or something like that, make sure to check out my Etsy store. I actually sell these in 20-ounce formats, and it comes with a straw, 2 straws, an angled one and a string one. And also you can actually take this, you can open this up, and you can drink directly from the lid. Very good. And I'm actually going to preach a little bit about this. This is actually such a good thermos. It actually, I had some ice and water in it, and it actually stayed pretty damn cold overnight. And that means like sitting on my desk for like 12 hours and it stayed really chilly. So if you're looking at a good thermos for either cold or hot items, make sure to check out my Etsy link, and obviously you can get whatever logo you want on there or whatever you want on there. So, and well, I guess let's time skip. Okay, all right guys, we are back. Of course, as soon as I start recording, a plane comes overhead, but we are back. So this has taken an extraordinary amount of time. In fact, a couple days in order for me to completely strip the wood. Now originally I was using my orbital sander and as well as my belt sander to try to strip the paint off and the lacquer and the stain, but it was just too much. I was wasting so much time blowing through sandpaper. I ended up actually purchasing a citrus-based chemical stripper. I don't have it out here, so let me go grab it real quick. Okay, here we are. Yeah, it's this one right here, the citrus paint and varnish remover by Sunnyside Quality Products since 1893. I originally bought this because it was in a squirt bottle, but it really didn't spray out like I thought it was. It was just still kind of like gummy, and I had to basically dump it out onto the board and wipe it on. A lot of the chemical strippers or strippers like this, that's what you pretty much do, you paint it on. So I used a lot of this. In fact, this is my second bottle that I used, which is actually still quite full, but still spent a lot of time stripping the paint with the chemical stripper for everything, the backboard, the sideboards. I even tried it along the edge. It didn't work well along the edges, so I had to go at it with my orbital sander on that, but you know, it is what it is. So now we're at the point that they're completely stripped. In fact, we can get a closer view here. So as you can see here, it's completely stripped. I even went around this curve here the best I can. And you can actually kind of see that I still kind of missed 1 or 2 little spots around the boards, but you know what, this is a refurbishing project. It is not meant to be perfect. It's just to make it look nice again, or to bring it to a good standard. Now I did notice that 1 or 2 of these boards, they are kind of warped. You can see on this one, so I am kind of concerned about that, but nothing much more I can do about that. And obviously we got the other boards here. So this whole project has taken an excruciating amount of time. I even went and fixed this nail hole here. This was actually a nail and it splintered off, so I refilled this with a UV epoxy resin, which actually is pretty damn nice to use. I even did it over here. Basically, it's a resin that you pour onto a surface, or like almost like it's super glue kind of, but it's a resin that you kind of drip onto a surface or put onto a surface, and then you use a UV light and it instant hardens it, or kind of it hardens it like after like 10 to 15 second exposure. And I slightly tilted the camera the wrong way, so it's actually cool, kind of nice to have. I'm glad that I kind of I discovered it, so saves me some time on some stuff. But now I'm actually going to spend some time, now after we got everything done, I am actually going to spend some time actually going through the process of actually staining this. Now I did choose a darker stain typically I like to use a lighter stain because I like to see all the, hold on, camera lens looks a little dirty. There we go. Oh, better. Usually I like to use a lighter stain with my wood projects because I like to show the grain of the wood and not have it kind of muddled. But since there are some flaws in the project itself, you know, after removing all the old stain, the lacquer, and obviously the paint, I decided to go with a darker stain, and this is called Kona, and this is a satin. I don't think I'm gonna polyurethane it, and the reason why I don't think I'm gonna lacquer it or polyurethane it is because this is not gonna, it's not a heavy use shelf. This is not, it's gonna be like a huge thing. It's not gonna be sitting in my house. This is actually gonna go back to my sister's classroom, and it's basically gonna be used for lunch bags. So I could polyurethane it and make it like really extremely nice, but the whole process, it's just not going to go unnoticed. Well, it is, it isn't. So I do want to make it kind of look nice, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be extremely nice. So it really does look like it's somebody's old project that somebody painted over. Maybe it was made by a student for the teacher. I know it's not my sister, and it just got left behind or whatever. So it is what it is. So let me actually, I forgot to bring out gloves. I actually did get some gloves. So let me go grab a pair of gloves, and then we're just going to sit here and we're just going to stain it. We're going to stain this side, let it sit, stain the other side, let it sit. Then we're going to do the other two boards that I couldn't fill up on my little setup here. So let me get my gloves. Okay. Got my gloves. Okay, good enough. So now I'm always going to say this, and I'm probably going to be really talking about this all the time whenever I do projects. Always wear safety glasses and gloves depending on what you're doing. Like when I was using the chemical stripper and when I'm using the stain, I am going to be wearing gloves and safety glasses anyway. Well, and honestly, I should be wearing a mask, but again, nice beautiful day, it's out, I'm outside, so I'm not being exposed to it as much as if I was inside my workshop. So let's get to the staining process. All right guys, so it's been a couple days since I started this project. It has taken longer than I expected. Now it's not done yet. I'm still working on it. I am going to do the assembly process of this. I'm actually got to get rid of the can of stain that I had. Unfortunately, there was a leak in the bottom and I didn't realize it, so it kind of got all over the place and all over my hand. You can kind of still see it there. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to do the assembly process. So I'm getting my drill and I am going to get all that together. Once I have all this together, we're going to go out and we are going to put it back together. Now, I didn't do anything for cleaning up the screws that they use in the project here. And the reason why I feel like that, I really don't have anything to clean them, honestly. I could use a new set of screws, but I really decided that I am not going to use a new set of screws, just for the simple fact that, honestly, I kind of want to keep a little bit of the old source to it. And not the source, the stuff on it, you know, kind of the patina or the paint or whatever was on there. That is not a good spot to put it, but I'm going to put it there. The old patina, as well as the paint, whatever is left over on there, I'm just going to leave that there for it to, you know, be part of the project. And also because actually the project is fairly is this the right one? I think this one. Okay. And also the project is fairly dirty anyway. It's dark enough that you're not going to really notice it as much. Maybe some of these you will notice because the you know what, I do actually have a grinder here. So, well, not a grinder, but like a bench grinder. Let's see, might be able to do that here. So yeah, I got this system here. Come on. There we go. That should do. Forgive me, I lied to you guys. So I gotta move a couple of things out of the way here. Take this off. Just gonna turn off, please. Thank you. Now this needs to charge a little bit more. Sorry, I'm working on bats. This is actually a separate project that I was doing, and they didn't come out too bad. I actually used some of that UV resin I talked about before to fill in the eyes with some pigment, so we get some cool like glow in the dark effect with it. Unfortunately, I only got 8 good ones, and I'm hoping that they turn out well and people would actually buy that. I don't know if I'm going to put them up on the Etsy store because I don't know if that will be a good spot for them. So yeah, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. I think what we're gonna do with the screws, originally I was gonna leave them alone and not do anything with them, but now that I'm thinking about it, I will. You know what, I'll use my shield instead. Now that I'm thinking about it, I will give the screw heads a bit of polishing to get rid of at least the yellow paint, because the stain that we use is very, very dark. It's very dark. I don't know if you guys can see me in comparison to what we wore, what it was originally, because if you guys remember, if I remember, I'll take a, I'll show you guys again what it originally looked like. It was bright yellow. So what I'm gonna do, got my shield up. Whoop. So this side has the grinding wheel, and this side has a metal steel brush. So we're actually gonna just take these screw heads and put it up against here to clean this off. I'm gonna put my shield down for protection while I do this, and all I'm gonna do is buff off as much as this paint as possible. As you can see, that's all good now. And I got quite a few screw heads in here, so I think I might as well just do all of them. Try to give them a nice even look. Maybe get some of that old rust off it as well, because actually some of these are not, you don't see any paint, but you can tell that they are slightly rusted. Now normally I would do a little bit more with this, but it's fine. I'll just do the tops. When I say a little bit more, I mean like clean the threads and everything, but that's all fine. Because this is not like a super deluxe project that I'm selling. This is literally for my sister, so she can put her students' lunch bags back on, like put it on a shelf. So, and obviously whoever originally owned this didn't really care too much about it, and they just left it in there in the screw, in the school. So let me finish about polishing these, or at least not polishing, but getting the paint off these, and then we can move on to the final step, which is final assembly. So I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, we are in the final phases of refurbishing. Basically, it's the reconstruction phase. So all we have to do is take all the pieces that we have and put them all back together using the screws we just cleaned up. So before we actually dive too deep into this whole reconstruction and talk about the whole project as a whole, let me actually talk about a product that I am putting on sale as soon as this video goes up, and that is my 20-ounce tumblers. Now, I can engrave whatever you want on the side of here. So this will be a laser engraved product unless you just want the logo on here. All you have to do is tell me. Now, again, this is a 20-ounce tumbler. You can get ones with or without a handle, and you can get the laser engraving on either side or maybe on both sides, however you want. So what I love about these tumblers is, first of all, you can have a bent straw, straight straw, and you also have a cleaner for the straws, and also you can drink directly from the top. So all you have to do is flip this portion up, and there you go. Water everywhere. But now I can't drink that. So I personally like to use the straw portion. And again, these will be going on sale for 1 month. Check the discount link down below, and all you have to do is go on Etsy and use that discount link to make your purchase of your own 20-ounce cup. Again, if you want a specific logo or your name or something on it, let me know. It's all personalized. Unless you want this logo, then I can do this logo. Tell me you want this logo, because I'm proud of this logo. All right, so let's get into the construction phase of this product. Oh yeah, before I forget, yes, it can hold hot or cold items. I have tried it with both, and it works perfectly fine. Okay. Sorry. All right, so let me grab the other boards, which are right over here. Whoops. All right. And as you can see, everything looks done. Honestly, not everything is done. And the reason why everything's not done is because I ran out of stain. And I showed you guys the stain can had a hole in it, and I didn't realize it. So I got it all over the place, and that was fun. It wasn't fun. Okay, so let me get this sorted. We're gonna do a bit of assembly on the sawhorses. I don't want to put this directly on the ground to try to prevent a little bit of scratching. Not too worried about this. This is gonna be going into school, and it's gonna be used for a bunch of middle schoolers' lunch boxes. If this was gonna be something for more like a personalized item, like what I did last time with my grandmother's old stool, then I would obviously treat it a little bit better. But for this, not too worried about it. So first of all, I am actually going to start this with the legs. And let's see if I can figure out how they were assembled in the first place again. I think it honestly doesn't matter. 1 and 2. Let me go get a set of clamps to actually help me out with this. So give me a sec. All right, I'm back. I got my set of clamps. So what I'm gonna do, I'm at least gonna get the center board in, right? Let's see if I can get this started as well. Now, I did notice that some of these boards are incredibly warped, right? But it looks like during their construction phase, they just screwed in and just left it. So this was how it was originally. You can see where the screw is, right? And you can kind of see a bow in there. So I'm not too concerned. Again, I'm not too concerned about that. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. So let's see. You were in the middle. All right, guys. So we got everything assembled. Somehow I'm missing one screw. I don't know where it went to, but everything is assembled now, as you can see here. Now there is a little bit of an issue here. I did have a little bit of a problem leaving 1 or 2 marks over by where the screws are at. You can actually see them. And honestly, this is not kind of completely done. Usually I wouldn't worry about actually doing this project and just kind of like, you know, cleaning it up the best I can. So what I'm gonna do, my thought process is to make it a little bit nicer, to kind of complete it, even though it's gonna be going in a school with a bunch of kids that I'm not gonna say that every kid's like you know, destructive or anything, but it's gonna be going into a school where there is gonna be a lot of you know, interaction with and stuff, you know, stuff going on. I am gonna take some, this is a little bit of wood filler here, and I also gonna grab another, not that one, and it's gonna have to be that one possibly. Yeah, all right, unless that's a dark one. There we go. I think that's all right. And take this one. This is a mahogany satin, and I'm actually going to clean up those final little tidbits. Now I'm going to use the wood filler for one piece of the project. I need some gloves, where when I went and screwed it in, right, the screw ended up going through a spot that I did not think it would go up. Is this screw in here? Okay, I can't see. And I just heard my other camera go off. Hold on, let me get my gloves on. All right, so I got my gloves on. I need a brush. Don't need a super deluxe brush, so I'm gonna grab one of my cheapo acid brushes for this. And we're gonna finalize this project. I might have to grab one of the bigger brushes to cover one of the larger areas and clean up the edges a little bit. I really don't know. I don't think I do. I'm just worried where that other screw went because I can't find it. But yeah, so let's see. Now I do have a bit of an issue. This is my GoPro, right? And the back screen just cracked because it fell on the ground. I'll take a picture of it. And yeah, this is my other GoPro right here. Boop, the Max. So this is hot. That means I have to cool it down. I wish it was easy as this. Good. So let me go about patching the remaining holes and touching up the stain a little bit on the sides, especially the areas that I did damage, and we'll show a final shot. So be right back. All right, guys, so I kind of completely forgot about this while I was outside. It was actually I was staining, and I was like, okay, I'm almost done and I'll be done with it. That I had this other board, this one here, that I wanted to laser engrave onto the back. Now the issue with this board is that it had two big cracks that was caused by the old nails. Apparently, like, somebody might have pulled on it and the nails just kind of ripped out the back. So what I did is I used UV resin and I filled in the crack, and then I obviously hardened it, and that made it better. But now here's the situation. I do want to laser engrave it, and this is what I actually came up with: a laser engraving. Refurbished by, obviously, my logo, August 28th, 2024. That's what I'm actually going to laser engrave on the back. Now, I'm just kind of concerned that I am going to laser engrave in the wrong spot. So what I'm going to do, which I usually do anyway, is I go and I hit framing on here. And then over here, it'll tell me where it's at. And obviously, it looks like it's getting cut off quite a bit. You can see it cut off there. I can move it down slightly, but still over the line there. I don't know why that's doing that, but so I just gotta go. I think I just gotta move this, just kind of move it down just a bit. Well, we can put this as 0 axis, right? And if we go back over here, that is our new line. Now, I really got to miss this here. It's hard to tell because of how dark it is underneath here. But, like, I have to kind of miss right there. And I want to make sure this is all lined up. I think that is as lined up as it's gonna get. Now, let's see how far this will go. And the way I can do that is by going like this. And it'll give me a little... Okay, it's not too bad. So, from like right here to there, that maybe is like half the board, you know? Granted that I have to kind of back it up a little bit. So let's actually, I'm gonna put you guys right here, so you guys can watch the laser engraving the best I can. Let me see if I can lift you up just a tiny bit here. Maybe a little bit more. I do apologize, I don't have my normal stand. It's still outside. I didn't think I was going to do this until I got back in here real quick, because I had to refill my 20-ounce tumbler. Again, that'll be going on sale for those who are interested. I am going to put this down because we're going to be dealing with some blue light, and that is actually very, very like rough on the eyes. So we're going to put that down to protect everybody's eyes. And just double check the dots. Yeah, that's good. All right, here we go. Okay, let's see what we have. So we're gonna open this up. Okay, not too bad. Okay, see what I'm seeing here, I'm not sure if you guys can see me, is that it looks like it's honestly cut through the stain and that's it. So I really want to get a bit deeper, right? Because obviously when I put this on, obviously it was thick coat of stain. Now I am gonna have to, I guess, run at the same time. I'm gonna have to not run the refurbished by part. Reason being is because I did shift it a little bit, not a lot, just a tiny bit, and that'll throw everything off. They'll throw lettering off. So I'll rerun the August and also the Wolf Woodworking and Laser Engraving logo, and that should be it. Then we can go back out and hopefully everything will be dry, and then we can nail this back into place. So I guess I'll be right back. Okay, can you see me? I can see you. Bye. All right, guys, so we got the laser engraving done. It kind of looks a little burnt over on the logo, so we're gonna actually fix that at the end. But what we're gonna do right now, the sun is in my eyes and it hurts. What we're gonna do right now is actually take this project, which should be dry from all the little patches that I did, and we're gonna turn it on its side and put it up on the horse. No, we're gonna leave it right here because it'll be easier to work on. So what I need right now is I need some finishing nails, which I should have a bunch of finishing nails, and a hammer. And the reason why I need finishing nails and a hammer is so that we can hammer down the top. And I'm going to use some good old-fashioned black panel board nails right? Because then they'll blend in with the side. Hopefully they'll be long enough. And let me actually pop this open real quick. All right, I don't think these will be long enough, but let me just take a quick look. We're really at the end of this project, and I just, it's just there. It's there at the end. All right, so let's see. That's really not gonna be long enough. Okay, let's see if we have another nail. I might have to look through my assortment of stuff. Maybe I'll just put a screw in there. I know I got plenty of screws sitting about, but I don't want to be putting in too many screws. Let's see here. I need like long nails. Oh, we got the small. No, those are screws. 2-inch finishing nails. Okay, so this will work, or should work. So back outside here in the wonderful sunlight that's blinding me. So originally this was put on with finishing nails, this board, right? And it was actually kind of put on like so in between these two boards. Yes, I know it's kind of squishy there. Let me put down my nails. So what I'm gonna do is gonna fit this back in. Maybe I'm gonna have to loosen some screws. Actually, I might get a mallet to hit it back in just a bit, so it's nice and tight in the top. Then we'll put the finishing nails in to hold it together. So let me get my mallet back to my shed, and then I'm gonna have to put the camera down. Luckily for me, I got a new tripod for this that actually makes me able to extend this a little farther. So I am gonna grab my dead blow and use this. Now I am kind of looking a little frazzled right now because I've been running around all day and doing a lot of different projects, getting a lot of different things done. So I'm tired. And I still got to get ready for my live stream, which is usually at 6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for my other channel, Commander Wolf Gaming. So, all right, so let's see, get this in. You know what? I might be able to also. I don't want to loosen those screws again. All right, I might have to loosen the screws. So let me, at least on the one side, because this seems really tight in here. I don't see how they got it in otherwise. Oh wait, maybe they did it. Okay. They did it from the top. Okay. Okay, that didn't work. All right, let me get, do I have my screw gun over here? No. All right, let me get my screw gun, and also I might be able to do this if I use my clamps to actually spread the tops a bit. So let me try that, as well as get my other thing. Get both. Reason why I'm going nuts with it, trying not to use the screw gun again, is because I already patched everything and painted them over. So I actually love using these clamps because they're versatile. All you have to do is take this off here, and you can actually turn it around so that it faces a different direction, like so. Let's see, come on. All right. I'm sorry, it goes on the other side. So now we got spreading clamps. Okay. Go. And that's in over there. Mallet. All right. So now that is tight in there. Now some of the stain did come off. That's just gonna flake off. I'm fine with that because it's just in that gap. So now I know some of you might be saying, well, why don't I stain it after I put it back together? I don't like to do that process because then when every once in a while when you see an edge, right, or when things start spreading apart, screws start coming loose or nails start coming loose, you end up seeing the edge of it, and I want to try to hide that edge as best as I can. That's why I like to stain everything first, then screw it together, which it helps. Where's my nails now? Which for me, it helps. It's like peace of mind for myself. Now, I put my nails down, I think, underneath me. Yes, it did. Now we're going to carefully drive the nails in to the side here. So, okay, first nail is in. Very good. Now, typically when I use nails, right? I don't like to use nails all the time because they kind of get bent and everything if you're not very careful. I like to use screws. Drill a hole, then put the screw in. And with nails, I just kind of usually do 2 points of contact, especially with smaller boards like 1, 2. Like maybe you can do 3, but that's a little bit overkill. This is just acting like a backboard, and it's not really for anything much, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Come on. All right. So that is now in. This one's going to be a little bit more awkward because I am not lefty, I'm a righty. This one we're going to try to go down lower than where I fixed that, so we don't come in contact with the UV area. See, that's what I'm worried about. This is why I don't like you to use screws. You can actually see a little bit, it's separating. So I'm just gonna go careful. Yeah, see, that's what I don't like about nails. Let's see if we can get this removed. Okay. And you can see the nail is slightly bent. So that means I didn't hit it straight. So let me sit down a little bit better here. I'm gonna go down a little further. Let's see if we can do it this time without messing up. I'm always checking on the inside because I can only really see the outside, so I usually put my finger and it's actually doing exactly what this did. It started to split a little bit, but it's fine. It didn't split. So we'll do one right there. It split again. Let's see. Okay, good so far. All right. Very good. That's good. All right. So the last thing I'm going to do is basically touch it up with the other the fuck is that? Oh, that's paint from a different project. I'm going to touch up just over these holes, over the nails with the stain, and that's it. So just to, if there was any hammer marks or anything on the side, which there really isn't, you can take a look over here. This is, well, yeah, on this side it's pretty bad. So that we can kind of hide that a little bit better. And also I want to retouch this up because that didn't turn out well, that little patch. So I'm gonna clean that up, and that's basically about it. And I'm probably gonna hit this up too, just to kind of get rid of a lot of that smokiness. So, and that's it. Then I'll take a picture, and you'll see up on my channel in a couple days, probably on a Friday, because I'm busy doing a lot of other things. So I'll see you guys on Friday, I guess. Okay guys, this was a very long journey for a simple refurbishing project, but it turned out better than I thought it would. And that's just an artist's grievance, right? Because or at least with me, I take a look at something and I'm like, there's so many issues with it. I wish I could have done better with it. But this turned out actually very well. And my sister, she said she loved it. She also loved the dark stain that I chose for the project because it matches her other bookshelves, as well as one of her bulletin boards in her room. So it actually turned out fairly nice. And I do wish that I actually had the same stain and just kind of like re-stained it one more time just to kind of completely go over it, but it turned out good in the end. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow me here on YouTube or Rumble. Just make sure to hit that follow or subscribe button and hit that thumbs up button. If you guys really enjoyed this, leave a note down in the discussion on what you want to see next. I've got plenty of things to do on this hobby channel, like for instance building Legos and Zoid model kits and stuff from Gundam and stuff. Okay, one last thing. For the 20-ounce tumbler that I showed you guys in this video, we are running a sale from September 1st through September 30th, 2024, and the discount code is 20OZ SBR25. I am putting that in the description section down below for those who want to order one of these. That is 25% off for a 20-ounce customized tumbler with or without a handle. Just tell me what you want laser engraved on there, and I will do that, and I'll get it right out to you. And yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to follow me on Rumble and, of course, YouTube. And, well, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye now.